I work with a lot of businesses, and as simple as this may sound, using a Gmail instead of a professional email is actually costing you customers. But first, before I proceed to discuss more about this, first, this is not for everyone. Not every business needs a professional email. A lot of businesses can do without that are still small and growing. But as long as you're earning good revenue, let's even say in an African settings, as long as you're earning as low as $1,000 per month and upwards, it's now consequential for you not to have a professional or a business email. And before I proceed, I would just like to give a short introduction. I am Great Pumu, and I am a strategist and entrepreneur. I partner with African founders and operators on a strategy level to help shape the direction of their ventures. And my focus areas include branding, digital strategy, market research, business planning, and market entering between Africa, the UK, and the USA. And my clients and partners range from startups and nonprofits to consulting firms, media companies, and enterprise organizations. And with this experience, I have from time to time come across businesses who ought to take having a professional email address very, very important. Now, let's give a picture of what I'm trying to describe. Let's imagine your office. You have an office. Picture your office, a beautiful office which you set up wherever you are, whether it's in Nairobi, whether it's in Lagos. You set up a beautiful office and you did everything as you ought to do, the chairs, the floor needs. You spent good money on it and never argued with yourself about it. And why is that the case? Of course, you were never doing it for yourself. You were doing it for your customers. But now in this digital age, most of your customers never walk in. They don't. It's now digital. So most people communicate with you first digitally. And they meet you in your email. The message you sent is like presenting to them your office. And for most businesses, it feels like the office looks empty because you are using a Gmail. Let Take, for example, this is a Gmail, Kwame Bright Enterprise at gmail.com. Imagine you want to really meet a serious client and you invite them to your office, an empty office just painted white. How does that look? Now, for a business that is still starting, that office inviting someone, it doesn't really have much consequence. They would still be patronized. But as a business that you actually charge your customers well, having such an empty office, your customers may sort of be afraid. Like, are you sure this business can actually handle my project or whatever service they need? That's just how your Gmail is perceived. Now, the statistics is clear. 75% trust a business more when the email matches the business name. 75%. And 77% distrust a company using a free address like Gmail or Yahoo. And then 64% say a professional address makes them trust the sender straight away. This is not empty statistics. This is real statistics. But the painful area of this is that you never see the loss. You never even see the loss in any way. Why? First, a lot of organizations will not answer because you are using a generic Gmail, or they are trying to reach out to a big company. Most times they won't even answer you using a Gmail. Why? And a customer may be comparing you with your competitor, and what they see is your competitor having a professional email. Look to them that they are serious. But for you, they may see it as just a side hustle, and nobody will tell you because they just go quiet. And you assume they were never interested, but that's never the case. In most times, they could not build trust instantly. And another area is for your structure, your business structure. If you're sending emails to customers constantly and you are using a Gmail, how it's terrible. For example, your staff uses their personal Gmail for your business. None of them is yours. You cannot even see what was sent to a customer. Your conversations sit inside a personal inbox that you may never gain access. That's it. And Even outside of that, the day they leave, your customer relationships work out with them. Can you see? Let me just give a statistics in the email marketing space relating to businesses. Now, these statistics, it's more or less just to give you an understanding that email is effective. People still open their email. And because there is still so much emails being sent, people also want to filter. And your custom email is one of the way people filter a serious business. But now let's look at the general perspective of email. It says $36 is earned back for every $1 spent on an email. You see that? 79% of B2B businesses, as business to business businesses, say email is their most effective channel for winning customers. And then the number one ROI of any marketing channel year after year is what? Email marketing. So email is still very, very important. And fixing this, it's not a huge thing. It's simple. Just one change. Have your own email with your own brand name. That's what it is. So when your customer receives your mail, in fact, it's all about experience. The reason you are setting up your office, as an example I gave, you're setting up your office so that you give your customer the best experience. That's what you're doing. And it's the same thing. Many people will not reach out to your physical office, but they would send an email. And or you will send them an email. Your digital office is your email. Now, I want to give an example of, so for us, my team, one of my ventures, we actually manage emails for our clients. And we have clients who are making as high as $100,000 every month. They don't even have a website, but they have emails, emails for their team members, emails for the department. They do have it. And why? Why is this important for them? It's simple. It's communication. Communication is very crucial. You may do without a website, that's it. But you see an email, you should not, as long as you are doing well in business. All you need to do is meet a right agency, a digital agency who can help you set it up. Or you can do that yourself. You have a platform like Zoho. With Zoho, you can set it up for yourself for free. Meeting an agency, you should expect to spend $100 more or less, depending on the agency that you meet. And if you want to even go for the paid plan for Zoho, it's about $1 per month. That's how cost effective it can be. And if you need Google with the Google Drive and many of the Google features, we call it Google Workspace. It's like $7 per month. And if you're a business, you don't have too much team, you can even use one email, or you can decide to use maybe two emails, and that is also cost effective. And the last thing, which I would just remind you, is you built a beautiful office, which is your physical office. You need to ensure that you give them also another channel to experience the first impression. They may not experience it at first coming to visit you physically, but through your email, your professional email, you will get that experience. And if you are a digital business or a business that is 100% remote, then it is non-negotiable. You must have a professional email. I see no reason why you cannot have a professional email if you are remote. So I hope this gives you clarity, and it's fine. If you need help, you can actually book a free call with my team to give you clarity and help you know if you actually need it or not. So I hope this gives you some clarity. This gives you some good analysis to help you make a decision to have a professional email. This is a small business tip, but I realize that many businesses fail to understand this. I have worked with small businesses to enterprise organizations, and even in the midst of them, the medium enterprise SMBs, they still overlook this thing. So I hope I've been able to give clarity, and that's it for now. Thank you.